Ever wonder where your target audience are actually hanging out on social media? And social media is probably the last place that you want to be. I'm going to share four simple, fundamental steps that you need to have in order to know exactly how to target your audience on social media so that you can be in front of them, create your visibility, and market your coaching business. Stay tuned and find out. Hey everybody, I'm Michelle and I am a visibility and marketing coach. And I work with female coaches who are passionate about coaching, but wanting to have a thriving, sustainable coaching business so that they can get seen, get heard, and get clients. And on this channel, you're going to hear and see a lot of content on branding, storytelling, and marketing that is going to take your coaching business to the next level and help you to get out there sooner so that you can start getting clients. Today, we are going to talk about the four simple, realistic steps that you need to take in order to find the target audience on social media. I remember in the past when I first started out in my coaching business, I had to do a lot of market research on my own. And so my coach made me went through this long, tedious questionnaire. And I remember I had to reach out to a lot of my potentially avatars and trying to figure out exactly who they are, what they think, and what they're struggling with in order to come up with just that one position, brand positioning statement, or AKA I help statement. And it took so much of my freaking time that a lot of it has to do with coordinating with other schedule, right? Because when you reach out to people and you ask them, hey, can I ask you a couple of questions, that takes a lot of bouncing back and scheduling the time. And if you're someone who's like me working 9 to 5 job, the only time I have available is on the weekend. And so by the time I come home after 8 hours of work, I simply don't want to have anything to do with work anymore, let alone working on my business. Sometimes when you get home, like all you want to do is just sit down and relax and spend some time with your family. I found myself fighting against time in order to build my online coaching business. And the longer that I wait, it actually drops my confidence level because then I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I am not doing this fast enough. Oh my gosh, I'm not doing this good enough. And so it starts to feed into my imposter syndrome. And I was just not in a very good, happy place. So last year when ChatGPT came out, I knew there's a lot of coaches who hesitated to use ChatGPT. And part of it is because it's a robot. So whatever information that you fit in, it's going to spell out in a robotic way. So the message that you hear or the prompts and responses that you get from Chatty, it may feels very inorganic. And so it takes a lot of learning curve and actually knowing how to operate ChatGPT in order to customize it, in order to personalize it so that it feels like you're talking to a human being. And it's funny because the other day I was sitting in my car with chatting with my friend, and suddenly I realized Chatty actually has this voice option. So they update the latest option, the latest update actually has a voice input option that you can use your voice to input the information that you want. So that was pretty fun. And we started asking Chatty a lot of different questions. It was a fun, enjoyable ride inside the car. So there's ChatGPT keep give you the updates, and each time it update, if you're not someone who's very familiar with, not very tech savvy, then you might find the tool to be pretty intimidating. But the point is, I'm talking about ChatGPT is because it allows you to save a lot of time in doing this market research, which in the past we spent at least months and weeks trying to coordinate and finding out answers so that we can understand our avatar, so that we can understand our audience and what are they thinking. And now you have a fantastic tools that can save you tons of time to doing all these research within minutes and sometimes within seconds if you use the right prompts. And so today here in this video, we're going to talk about how exactly do you target your audience on social media. And in order to understand that, and if you wanted to carry on to the next level, I'm going to share a link down in the description box so that you can join our community. I actually have a video that I done recently on how to target audience on social media using ChatGPT. And inside that video, I had also talked about the 5 ChatGPT prompts that you can use that would help you to really save a lot of time in understand where exactly is your target audience and what type of marketing strategy do you use. And so you're able to get a lot of strategic way of how you show up on social media instead of just throwing spaghettis around. In the past, maybe you don't have the budget to work with a marketing coach, or maybe you just simply cannot afford to work with someone right now. Then that would be a great alternative, a solution for you to actually start building your coaching business that way. And my whole strategies and methodology is that you don't have to spend whole tons of money in the first place in order to get the information that you want. You're smart, you're here, you're inspiring, and I'm sure that you have gone through a lot of things in your life that brought you here. And I have no doubt that if I were to give you the right tool, you will be able to kickstart and build your own coaching business off the ground. And someone just need to be there to show you the tool and how do you use it. And so if you're interested, I'm going to share the link down in the description box so that you can come in and join our community. So the link will be down in the description box. And if you want to look it up, it's on Facebook. Attract Dream Client and Boost Your Sale is our community. So come into the community, and I just did a video on how to target your audience on social media. And in that video, I also talked about the 5 ChatGPT prompts. You'll be able to find the video under the guide, and you'll be able to locate the downloadable files. All right. So the 4 steps that you really need to have in order to understand and how to target your audience on social media is step number 1 is you want to really understand your audience. And I'm not talking about like the surface things, right? It's more about understanding what is it that they're going through, their pain, their struggles. And yes, a lot of coaches don't feel comfortable about talking about the pain, but you can't really be in someone else's shoes unless you know what they're struggling with. In addition to just understanding your audience pain point, you also want to understand the demographic, the psychographic, right? So what age group do they belong to, and what do they like? Where do they shop? What kind of brand do they usually go to? I gave an example in my video inside the group, is that a lot of time I find myself keep going back to shop at Gap. And there's a reason why I like Gap stuff, because they're down to earth. It's for everyday people. It's very affordable, and I can find a pair of jeans or a t-shirt and I can wear it, not a problem. I can still look stylish even with the simple look. So you want to understand what your audience is behaving so that you can narrow down your search to be more specific. So if I were to work with midlife people who's going through midlife crisis, I'm going to look particularly in groups that are where these people are hanging out on Facebook, on Instagram. If they're more into a luxurious look, they might hang out more on Instagram because it's more aesthetic. People look for the look. And so you might want to spend more time on Instagram if that is your go-to place. So that's number 1, is to understand what is your audience, what do they like, and what is the age group, where do they typically hang out. If my age group is midlife, I might not want to spend so much time on TikTok. Step number 2 is to have social media engagement. What are some of the key social media account that they follow? And those are the type of group. So for example, Brene Brown is huge. If you're a life and mindset coach, probably a lot of, and if you're focusing on women's group, then probably a lot of your avatar, your audience would be hanging out in Brene Brown's Facebook group. So go into those community and start connecting and talking to them so that you can get a better sense of what are some of the questions that they're asking and how can I create content to be in front of them to be helpful. And so that's step number 2, is you want to kind of understand who do they follow, what are some of the influencer that they aspire to, and who do they use and what kind of books do they read. And those would be the major target where you want to focus and narrow your search, your energy to be in. Number three is to have that online presence and activity. If you want to be seen, you need to be out there and start doing all this stuff, right? So even with 10 to 15 minutes a day, it's going to allow you to build that online presence. If I don't know where to find you, how can I possibly hire you? So you wanted to make sure that if you want to target your audience, obviously you need to clean up your social media feed. You want to make sure that all the posts that you're posting and sharing on your social media wall is aligned with the value, with the purpose of your brand. You actually, when people come to your website or come to your social media, there's something about that presentation that just attract me to you if you're connecting with me. So that's say you decided to go to a Brene Brown Facebook group and you're connecting, you're having conversation with someone in the group. It's not necessarily like you're pitching to them, but you're just having a random conversation. And that person decided to friend request you. Now, if you are someone who doesn't have your branding aligned on your social media feed, then when I come to your feed, I'm just going to see you as, oh, I don't necessarily see you as a brand or business owner. I see you more like, hey, she's my friend. And you wouldn't charge a friend, would you? So you want to create that online presence that is aligned with your branding, purpose, values, and the overall look. And when you are on social media, be sure to spend some time engaging them, right? If someone leave a comment on your wall, you wanted to make sure that you take the time to reply to them. Step number four is you wanted to have a strategic way of becoming visible. And one of my biggest challenge is in content marketing. And I love creating valuable content so that it can be helpful for my audience. And if they're searching for how to find target audience, then I can go ahead and share this video with them. And that is about providing value. So when you show up on social media, it's not just posting anymore. It's actually posting for a purpose, for a reason. And that is the beauty about content marketing. Content marketing will allow you to create content that is going to pretty much act as your 24/7 salesperson, right? Once you create a content, it's going to be out on the internet. People will be able to search for it depending on which platform that you use. And it's always going to be available for those who are your target audience. And you can always, once you connect with someone, and if they do, and if they are looking for resources, now you have an easier way to reshare that content with them to be in front of them. As you can see with these four steps, everything that you do on social media become intentional, and everything that you do, it's about providing value to your target audience, even though you're connecting with them, right? You're purposely go into and stay in front of them, but you're also providing educational and value content because you are here to serve. To summarize, how do you find your target audience on social media? You need to follow these four steps. Number one is to understand your audience. Who are they? What do they like? And what are some of the interest group that they might hang out on social media, whether it's on the LinkedIn or on Facebook? What are some of the social group that they might be interested in hanging out? And one thing I love about Facebook, and you'll find me on Facebook at Coach Michelle Kuei, is that I love about Facebook is that everybody is on Facebook, right? Your friends, family, people are always on Facebook because they're finding people to connect with them. They may not show up as the CEO of a company, but they're definitely showing up on Facebook as friends and family of someone. And if you do it right, you have better and increasing opportunity in targeting on someone on Facebook rather than on LinkedIn. Yeah, sure, you can target more intentional and focused audience, but everybody's on Facebook. So I love Facebook. So step number one is to understand your audience. Number two is to have that social media engagement, understanding who are some of the influencer that they're following and how do you use that as an interest and how do you tap into that interest so that you can connect with them with the information that you're able to comment on and to provide. And then number three is you want to make sure that you have that online presence. So spend 10 to 20 minutes out of your day replying comments, connecting with your friends, family, and that will also help with your algorithm. And step number four is to strategically create content that will allow you to increase your visibility. Strategic connection to increase your visibility is the way to go. I hope these are helpful. And again, I have shared this inside my group And I share 5 ChatGPT prompts, how you can use ChatGPT prompts to help you and decide which group or which social media platform do I want to be on more often. And so that you don't have to feel overwhelmed in all these different platforms and feeling confused about exactly where to find your target audience. Comment down below, what is your go-to platform that you love to connect with your audience, and let me know in the comment down below, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.